drag a corrupt woman across the 2016 presidential election finish line after she put our classified secrets at risk. They watched as she deleted 30,000 emails and destroyed evidence. Those running a more than 1-year-long so-called criminal investigation with no grand jury, no search warrants, no subpoenas, and prophylactic immunities for everyone involved without requiring their testimony, allowed her to get away with it. Our economy was in shambles. The workforce participation rate was lower than at any time in our nation's history. Millions weren't employed because they simply gave up looking for work. Hundreds of thousands were working 3 part-time jobs to make ends meet. While the Obama team said it was a healthy economy, there was barely a pulse. 1% annual GDP growth was the new normal for these bozos. Meanwhile, there were some in the workforce who should not have been in the country in the first place. Record numbers of illegal aliens had crossed our borders. Along with jobs, they and their families helped themselves to tax-funded education, medication, and housing. And when the illegals committed crimes, they were given the best lawyers and translators the criminal justice system could buy. The same people who burned and trashed the American flag, driving around with the foreign flags of their home countries waving atop their vehicles, would kick, scream, and demand their constitutional rights, calling Americans racist if, God forbid, we tried to send them back to the countries their flags represented. Speaking of God, people of faith across the country were faced with the dilemma of upholding the secular Obamacare law to provide abortifacients to pregnant women or violating God's law. It seemed the government was not there to defend our First Amendment religious freedoms, but to gut them. Christians were horrified as the Obama administration dragged the Little Sisters of the Poor all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court to force them to violate their religious beliefs. Gun owners across the country were being blamed for every lunatic who took a weapon and killed others, while at the same time being lectured about not blaming all Muslims for the actions of a violent few. We were told how many guns we should own, how big our clips should be, how many bullets we could keep in our magazines, or that we really should not have guns at all. Globally, we had a president who couldn't comprehend terrorism, calling ISIS a JV team. He couldn't figure out whether to contain them, dismantle them, or destroy them, none of which he did. As this JV team unleashed brutal, inhumane genocide on innocent Christians across the Middle East and Africa, Obama spouted off at a national prayer breakfast that people committed terrible deeds in the name of Christ. Yes, Donald Trump arrived just in time, when our nation needed him most, when we needed to be protected and inspired. To be sure, Trump was not your typical politically correct candidate. Unlike the two-faced parasites in Washington, he really wanted to make America great again. They tagged him with every negative characterization they could. They called him a fascist, a racist, and twisted everything he said. Why? Because he was a threat to the greedy, corrupt Washington insiders who had captured our government. And he did what other candidates wouldn't dream of. In addition to the establishment, he took on the media. They said it was suicide. They were wrong. Donald Trump was speaking to the rest of America in a way they understood. He prioritized law and order and the safety of American citizens over criminal illegal immigrants and terrorists. As a Christian, he took on those who made believers uncomfortable for stating their Judeo-Christian beliefs. He stood for the hardworking, forgotten men and women who didn't get a fair shot at a better life, but were instead made to pay for those who violate the rules. He criticized the $1.7 billion cash transfer of funds to a nation committed to our destruction, as well as a